Boy, this generation is a different thing. In fact, no, because this kind of thing was going on for a little while now, even in my time. But in this case, you'll see no greater case of narcissism than this. This Alicia Andrews girl, she's off a rocker. For those of you from overseas that doesn't know what that means you're not right in the head. How can you be in a courtroom, yeah, and be doing makeup like you're home about to go out? You know, listen. Let me get into this story. Yeah, let me get into this. Yeah, this is all to do with the case regarding the rapper Julio Foolio and the defendants who obviously deleted him, as you'd say, in Tampa over in America. So basically, what you had was obviously, apparently they tracked him via, is it tracking? Apparently, he put his location online. They tracked him and had been tracking him, obviously, and they caught up with him. So basically, let me go more into detail with this case. They tracked him, deleted him, but one of the main focuses here is the girl, okay? This young girl, Alicia Andrews, okay? Now, some of you may have seen the videos where this crazy ass girl has been in the courthouse situation, being cross-examined, and the girl thinks it's a beauty pageant. The girl's there putting on makeup. It's a madness. Anyway, let me get into this. Yeah, let me go straight into this. Let me dive straight into this. Okay. Yahoo News heading: Alicia Andrews helped plan hellish onslaught that killed rapper Julio Foolio in Tampa. Prosecutors said 22-year-old Alicia Andrews wasn't just in Tampa that night. Jacksonville rapper Carl Jones, the real name of Foolio, yeah, known to fans as Julio Foolio, was killed. They said she helped plan what they called a hellish onslaught that ended his life. Wow. In opening statements, prosecutors described a calculated ambush carried out by Andrews and several co-defendants who traveled from Jacksonville to Tampa in June 2024. Yeah, one of the messages that was found on her phone, or one of the prosecutor's phones, was she's sending that on Friday night. Hey, can I book an Airbnb in Tampa? Prosecutors told jurors, pointing to messages they say kicked off the logistics of a deadly plan. Right. Investigators said cell phone data shows Andrew's phone pinging off towers. See? As she and her boyfriend Isaiah Chance drove 200 miles south to Tampa. Their cell phones are tracking in towers as they travel in unison all the way down, heading directly into Tampa, prosecutors said. Hours before the shooting, Andrew's phone allegedly left the Airbnb later, pinging near the hotel where Foolio was gunned down by 4 other men. Boy. So basically, you see, this generation don't know. They don't know. We're going to go into that in detail in a bit regarding the phone. With regards to the phone. But basically, this crazy ass girl, yeah, I don't believe what I'm seeing. There's videos of her in the courtroom applying makeup, having makeup applied to her face. You know, that's one of the most narcissistic things I've ever seen. You know, and this narcissism thing has been going on for a while now in this community. You know, it's a common trait now amongst certain women from this community. Okay, and it's a predominant thing. Okay, I think a lot of it's got to do with family, but that's another conversation for another time. But a lot of these women, they're off key. They're taking narcissism to another level, and it's funny. And this is a funny point when you consider that Afrocentric beauty is meant to be at the lower rung, considering we live in a Western-based society. That's one of your arguments. When people say, "Oh, we live in beauty is examined by Western standards," okay, that makes sense. What doesn't make sense is these women have a greater ego and to an extent a higher level of narcissism than any other race of women. I'm sorry. I know stunning women that are from different backgrounds, Caucasian, Asian, whatever it is, and they're no way near have as much ego as these women. But hey, that's another conversation. But basically, it's the narcissism here that gets me. You know what I mean? So without further ado now, let's go into greater detail, yeah? Let's go into greater detail. When people are carrying out a crime, yeah, firstly, when you're carrying out a crime, yeah, I don't know about this part of America, but in London, UK, there's no greater place where people are tracked, people are monitored, okay? And taking it further than that, okay, they're looking to bring in digital ID. So they'll really have you locked down, okay? But in this case, as we're seeing, they've got all that. They've got all that. From what I'm reading in another article, she denied traveling in the car, okay? She denied traveling in the car. And one of the antagonists, she said she didn't know him. But the tracking detailed data shows she was traveling in one of the cars. Might be the same car she drove to Tampa with, but she was traveling in the cars as her traveling in the cars, of which she denied. Make that make sense? So you'll say it's like me, where I am now, making this video on my phone, and me turn around and saying, if the authorities came around and said, oh, that video of Gets you made, that violates XYZ, okay? The rapper Gets in the UK that I made a video about, or any other content, you made XYZ, me being in denial, but your phone records show you were here at this point in time. You can't deny it. You know? It's a craziness. And, you know, not just that, but they've got your location now. So if you're going to carry out a crime, at least use a different phone or leave your phone at home. You know what I mean? It's craziness. And, you know, this is all over the net over here, you know, in this case. All you got is some girl, yeah. And let's go into another thing, yeah. This thing about pretty privilege, okay? Listen, that may work in the hood, where you're a fair-skinned girl, and people, you know, they elevate you because you're fair-skinned and you're seen as pretty. I get it. I get all that. It may work at work. It may work at work, where again you got to pass because you're fair-skinned. This is yours argument. My argument is something different. But many of you say being fair gets you through doors. I can contend that, but hey, another conversation. You say getting fair gets you through doors. So at work, you know, because he's fair-skinned, someone may be fair-skinned, or in a social arena, social environment, being fair may get you through doors. That's fine. But in this legal case thing now, that's not going to help you. You know, you're going down for a number of years. You know, and that's funny. Speaking of going down for a number of years, apparently there's conflicting information regarding this. But in some cases, some are saying she was given a plea deal. Some were saying she wasn't. Where she was given a plea deal, they're saying she would have got a certain amount of years, but she could have come out and still, you know, still being relatively young. But others are saying because of her narcissism, and she actually believes she's getting off the case, which I've actually seen from what I've read. I think that's the case. This girl here thinks, because I'm pretty, applying makeup, look at me, my pretty face is all over the media, I'm going to get off this because I'm pretty. I've got enough so many things in my life because I'm pretty, be it in the hood, be it with family, be it with friends, be it with boyfriends, be it with men that take her out and kiss her ass, men that pay £1,000 on a date, men that pick her up in a Rolls Royce. All this privilege I've had for being pretty is going to get me off this case. I'm going to bust this case. No love. No, I'm not going to say no love. I'm going to say we'll see. We're going to see. This will be a good test, actually, of how far this presumed pretty privilege goes. We'll see. But anyway, let me take you down to some of the comments that I've come across. Yeah, some of the comments regarding this case because I find it so interesting, and I like some of these comments as well. Yeah, here's a good one. The defense just keep using she didn't know as an excuse, I guess. Yes, the fuck she did. She knew to the point she was talking about sliding on people. It's no way you're gonna get in car with guys, then follow someone around, okay, mask up and etc. Kill someone, then you travel back with them, but you don't know what they was gonna do. No way. That makes sense. That makes sense. She went from gutter to the gutter. How can she be so cold? Guilty. Another comment. Um, Another comment. Game over. Here's a good one. The state prosecutor is so good. He's not leaving any stone unturned. Alicia is cooked and eaten with hot fried chilies. That's a good one. Here's a good one. Someone called a Geraldine Lucky 9967 posted 4 hours ago. She's all in. All that prosecutor is doing. She's all in. She's all in, and that prosecutor is doing a damn good job improving that. There's no way with all this time that you spent with these co-conspirators that you were not knowledgeable of the evil plot against this rapper. And it's definitely not a coincidence that every time that Julio visited you and your boyfriend, it's not coincidence that every club that Julio visited, you and your boyfriend magically appeared. Also, why the lies of not knowing the very people that you were sharing an Airbnb with if you had nothing to hide, and the principle of guilty by conspiring, you meet all of the criteria. The prosecutor understands his assignment. Okay, wow. Another one. She texted to Julio. She texted, this is David Price 7162, whatever, 8 hours ago on Facebook. She texted that Foolio has to die. She was on camera riding to Tampa with the hit team and sneaking them into an Airbnb. She has texts telling them to find an Airbnb for them. She's on camera and using phone locations showing her in the scout car following Foolio to 2 clubs and a hotel. She's on camera at McDonald's being in the scout car. She used an encrypted app to contact the shooters, but they stopped replying, so she texted them over a regular Apple iMessage. Answer your phone to the shooter just before the killing. She never wore a mask until just before the shooting, where she is now seen wearing a surgical mask. Her phone pings to being at the hotel where the shooting happened. She rode with the shooters in an Uber back to Jack's, and she is caught out on at least 10 provable lies in her police interview. She also destroyed her own phone when she found out when co-defendants started getting arrested, and is seen being dropped off where Sean Garthright, or whatever his name is caught on camera, wiping down the car, caught on camera, being used in the killing for Prince. She's absolutely cooked, never coming home. Wow. There you go. There. Not looking good. Not looking good. Here's one. They tracked her phone using devices as they were in the same car. Boom. There's one comment as well. Let me find it. One good one that will sum this up and bring this together. Let me get this comment. Let me find this one. Here it is. Her mistake was not accepting the 19 years, because as young as she is, she'll be out in her late 30s. She's tripped out. Now she's getting life. That's a good one. Oh, here's a good one. She said, yeah, this is her. She said that her and a dude, her boyfriend, who was one of the shooters, she said it was she was there at the Airbnb to get away. It was a holiday thing. That was after she originally said that she was coerced by the boyfriend because he was abusive to her. They just flipped it by saying her and the boyfriend went to the Airbnb because it was a holiday getaway. These are 2 of the comments regarding that. A romantic getaway with her dude and 3 other ninjas. Laughter. Smiley face. That was some romantic getaway. Another comment. If they don't find this woman guilty, I don't know who should be found guilty. That's a good one. Yes, about my point on cameras. If you commit a murder in public these days, you might as well turn yourself in immediately after. There are cameras everywhere. I don't understand this younger generation. Precisely. Exactly. Baby, this is open and closed. She's part of it. Yep. Standard. So there you have it. There you have it. This crazy ass girl, though, listen, I've never seen nothing like it. It's the narcissism. You know, the craziness, like putting on makeup, smiling, laughing at the cameras. I think at one point when they mentioned Foolio, or they showed the body, the girl was laughing and grinning. I mean, to this generation, it's all a joke. It's all a laugh. It's all a joke. You know what I mein? It's one big joke. They're in their own little dream world. But listen, that dream world's going to come crashing down because you're going to be doing hard time. All right then. Take care. Later.